Fala galera, tudo bom com vocês? Aqui é o Eric do Critical Hits e eu estou aqui com um convidado extremamente especial para esse vídeo de hoje. Eu estou falando aqui com o Shuhei Yoshida, que é um ex-executivo da Sony. Hello Yoshida-san, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Critical Hits.
Let's start with our questions, okay?
Okay.
But first, how are you enjoying Brazil?
Very much. I'm enjoying that hot dog Dugao. I've had that twice this week already.
Oh, you're gonna go back to Japan full of dogao.
Yeah. I wish I can have Dugao in Japan.
So my first question, what was Shuhei Yoshida before he joined PlayStation and what he is now? How you yourself changed during this many years you were in the company?
You mean before I joined PlayStation?
Yeah, how are you as a person and then right now?
I was a young employee of Sony Corporation, and I was working in the corporate strategy group and in the PC group, helping the communication between Sony and Apple computer, because Sony was making the notebook computers for Apple. So I was very interested in working outside Japan, so that's how I joined Sony. So, but at the same time, I was hoping that Sony to enter into the video game business, and I was so lucky to got a chance to join Ken Kitaragi's team, from the very beginning. So when we started working on PlayStation, my goal was to somehow help make this project successful so that I can keep working on video game. And I had no idea this PlayStation will become such a big thing, and I would have stayed working for the company for over 30 years. Yeah, so PlayStation gave me so many amazing opportunities to meet and work with really creative people, talented game developers and talented marketers, and some really fun, nice media people as well that I have become friends with. So I cannot think about any other life than I have had. So lucky to be able to work in this such an exciting industry and exciting project from the very beginning.
Since now you are out of PlayStation, what are you pursuing professionally? Because we looking from the outside, we think, oh my God, he has done everything and he can pretty much go everywhere he wants now. So what does Yoshida-san want right now?
Yeah, I'm now working with indie publishers and indie developers as an advisor. For the last 5 years at Sony, I was working with these companies from Sony side. Now I changed size and joined this publishing and developer community. So I'm really enjoying working with these young and talented teams and being able to work on multi-platform and some projects for Nintendo platform, others for Microsoft platform, and so every day is a new and fresh experience for me.
How do you view the development gaming scene here in Brazil? Our indie and bigger games here. How do you view them, and what are your words for the Brazilian developers?
In my mind, the Brazilian developers are all indies, and I'm not aware of the big AAA kind of companies. Maybe I'm not looking at the right place. But in terms of indies, I was here 3 years ago for the big festival, and I saw some really good games and met with many developers. But after 3 years, I'm amazed by the larger number of developers from both Brazil and from Latin American countries, and the quality of these games. So I think rapidly this industry here in Latin America is growing. and more attention should be given from the global publishing community to look at games from this vision.
If you could give any indie studio complete creative freedom and an endless budget to do it, what kind of game would you want them to do? Like your dream game, you know?
I really like to see some new ideas in games. I personally, love playing, action games, and especially challenging games like a Souls-like. My personal best game of the year last year was 9 Souls, and I was so excited that the game got the best game of the year award here in the, Gamescom Latam. So if I have the chance to help and work with the developer, I like to see fresh new ideas, but still in the action hardcore game genre.
What was the riskiest bet you backed at PlayStation? A game that could go wrong but didn't, and people were not trusting, but your gut told you have to back this one.
Well, I have to say, during the development of The Last Guardian was really difficult. It took us, over 10 years to get it finished, but I always thought that I believed in the vision of Ueda-san, and we already showed the trailer and got lots of great response from consumers. They've been waiting for many years, so I believe, I have to get this game out no matter what. So it took us lots of time and lots of money spent, and I think other publishers would have not continued, but because I felt so strongly about the title, I guardianed the game until the very end. So maybe I should say that was the riskiest thing I did.
It was a long wait, but it was worth it. At least to me, right now we are in the middle of a phenomenon in the games industry where, like, if you try to please everybody and have that big, massive budget game, most of the times, or more than you would want, the game ends up failing because the game costs so much to make, and you need so much people buying it that it's very hard to achieve that. And then you have like very specific games like Clair Obscur, like Persona, like a Dragon, Yakuza, Baldur's Gate, and games like that burst the bubble. Like lots of people started playing because they want a very good game at something it proposes itself. Do you think this is the direction we are going to? Instead of the big publishers trying to please everybody, they try to do something very good that eventually more people that aren't used to play this genre, they go to that and play and see, oh my god, this is very good. Like we're seeing right now with Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
I think big publishers will continue to invest big because they have to sustain their business. They need a large revenue. So, we will continue to see the success from AA size games like Expedition 33, as long as these games are, great and innovative. And also we'll see breakout hits from indies like Baratro, and we'll still see success of AAA titles from these big publishers. But in terms of what the publisher would do, I don't think that will change because each publisher has its own strategy and business that they have to maintain.
Recently, you suggesting people to play the Blueprints. That was your candidate for Game of the Year. What is the next game that you think will do very well like the Blueprints?
So I had the fortune to play Blueprints last year because I was a part of PlayStation, and indie publishers and developers bring the games in development to show to platform even before the games are announced. So I had the advantage to be able to play it myself and saw, oh, this game is so amazing. So that's why I said, this game is going to be, Game of the Year candidate. And now I work with some of the indie publishers, and there are lots of games being pitched to these companies. So maybe not as many as I had chance to see at PlayStation, but hopefully I will continue to see some exciting new games in development before the game is announced or a game is done, so that I will continue to say, hey, this game is going to be, next year's Game of the Year candidate.
What do you think about the price increase in games recently, from 60 to 70 and then now to 80? Do you have any words of hope for the gamers, because gaming is getting more and more expensive?
Well, when you look at the life in general, other products in price have increased, way more than the game price. So I think it was almost, too late for the video game companies to start looking at the pricing structure. I don't believe that every game has to be priced the same. Each game has different, value it provides, or the size of budget, it has. So I totally believe it's up to the publisher or developers, self-publishing developers' decision to price their product to the value that they believe they are bringing in. And in terms of actual price of $70 or $80 for really great games, I think it will still be a steal in terms of the amount of entertainment that the top quality games bring to people compared to other form of entertainment. So as long as people choose carefully, how they spend their money, I don't think they should be complaining about.
Okay, my final question. What are your words for people who want to start developing games? What would you tell them to do or to not do?
Well, developing game is really fun and it's really challenging, and it takes a long time for new developer to learn how to do the job. But it's worth trying once you are able to create games. You'll be providing your product to the global audience. So start small and show your games early and get the feedback and listen to the feedback, and try to release a small scale game on Steam to go through the whole process, because it will be a great learning process for you for your career.
Thank you very much, Yoshida-san. Have a great time here in Brazil.
Thank you very much.